Good evening and welcome to another edition of What's Happening. I'm Elliot Margolis. I'm here with my co-host Gail Burke, and we're fortunate today to have a Republican Congress candidate for Congress running against Seth Moulton to speak with Carlos Hernandez. Carlos, thank you for coming to the show. And Carlos, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and then why are you running?
My name is Carlos Hernandez. I'm actually an immigrant that came to this country in 1969. I have been basically in the 6th District since 1969, except for minor times that I left when I joined the military and when basically for a couple of years I went to New Hampshire. But then I always came back to the 6th District. I grew up, my hometown would be considered Salem, and I live now in Saugus. I am kind of running for Congress. I actually had some issues with getting the signatures only due to circumstances that I'm a service-connected vet, and the cold basically did not help me, and I was trying to shake everybody's hand while I actually got the signatures from everyone, and that ended up coming a little short. So I'm still running. I already had told the state before even that it actually came out. And I will basically represent the district the right way, the way it should be. The way that basically, not just for themselves, not for myself, for the district and for the country. I'm a veteran that I love my country, and what's been going on is crazy. I cannot understand how in the world we can actually be doing what we're doing now. These people are not upholding the laws. They're not doing what they should be. I am actually running. I am going to be running against a Cambridge Democrat, fake Republican carpetbagger, Joseph Schneider, who basically on the last date he actually changed his name, to say he lives in Beverly, and basically, and then at the same time registered as a Republican to run for the Republican Party. Now, he had some help. As a matter of fact, even his, this is something that's funny because someone told me, apparently even his campaign manager was a Democrat. So basically, I couldn't believe it. And part of the problem is some of the GOP, some of the state committee members actually are supporting him over me.
So if your name isn't on the ballot, there will not be a primary between you?
There will be a primary.
There will be.
Of course. I mean, it's just the thing is, you're going to have to write Carlos Hernandez, Saugus.
I see.
Basically, you should write the full address, Carlos Hernandez, 122 Hamilton Street, but Carlos Hernandez, Saugus is more than enough to actually get that ballot.
Okay.
And this is something right now. I'm fed up with this. I'm fed up with we fight to get people elected, and then these people turn out to be something they're not. They basically, I stood out in the rain for the first time for Scott Brown, and I believe Scott Brown basically. I believe Scott Brown actually didn't do well for us, because in regards to it, he basically, he should have basically immediately demanded to be appointed to the thing. He should have been demanding the day he got elected. He should have been demanding. What's his name here? Kirk should have never had a vote, and basically Obamacare would have never came to light. Because when Obamacare came in force, my wife and kids went without insurance for a year and a half because I couldn't afford $800 a month, 800 plus more a month, because they basically, that's what Obamacare did to me. I was fine with what I had. The plan we had was fine, but they actually, it raised it by $800. I don't have $800 to throw away.
So what is your main issue? with what's going on in Washington and how you would present yourself as the candidate, and what kind of issues do you consider most important?
I'm pro Second Amendment. I am an immigrant, a legal immigrant, and basically I believe.
Where were you from?
Dominican Republic.
Okay.
If you came in here illegally, I'm sorry. You broke the law. We're a rule of law. We're a nation of laws. Get out. I'm not very. I know it's not nice and so forth, but you know what? The thing is, we're tearing our nation apart if we stop observing the laws. Now, right now, this thing that's on the air about, what about the kids? The kids are being separated. The kids are being, they're being torn away from their parents. When an American citizen or a legal alien gets arrested for something that they did wrong, they get thrown in jail. What about the kids?
Yeah.
Let's talk the truth here. We've got to start doing the things right. This is stuff that happens and so forth. We can't treat other people from other countries better than we treat ourselves, because this is our nation right now, and in regards to it, and if we don't watch out, we're going to lose it.
One of the things I read about Seth Moulton was that one of his big priorities was standing up against the president. How do you feel about that?
I am pro-Trump. I mean, don't get me wrong. If he's doing something wrong, I'm going to be against him. Mm-hmm. But I voted for Trump, and I don't see any reason. I mean, he's had me wondering a few times, but you know what? The guy is a negotiator. So he basically tells you one thing, but you're not looking over here.
Well, there's no perfect candidate that you're going to agree with everything anyway.
No, I know that, but I'm just,
Yeah.
but that's one thing. I mean, to me, common sense.
Yeah.
The rule of law applies here. That's what I was taught in school when I went to high school here. That's what I was in, all the way through school, whatever, high school, middle school, elementary. That's the rule. The rule of law is what this nation was built on. And right now, we're not working on that. And if we keep going any other way, we're in trouble. I mean, when we start basically treating the criminals better than the citizens, we got problems. Because if we don't start basically, upholding the laws equally, we're doomed. And Seth Moulton is he says he's for the veterans. You know what? He's voted for so many laws, bills, that basically were for the vets. Okay, so they ended up changing the number in the Senate. So he voted for, let me just give you an example. He voted against the VA Accountability Act. He voted for that. But so Seth Moulton actually, he voted against it. He voted against it throughout.
What was that bill about?
The bill was about basically to be able to fire anyone that's not doing their job in the VA.
Oh, okay.
So they can take care of the vets. Look, I went through the system. I'm a service-connected vet. I've been through the system. I've been through this for quite some time. Seth Moulton votes against the veterans every time. Okay, when he's got no choice, when it came back from the Senate, it was labeled a different number. Now he votes yes. But it was still the same bill. Nothing was changed. So this is something that this guy is for himself, and that's basically it. I will defeat Seth Moulton. I will beat him on everything, because I've actually been going through his record, and this guy is not... I love when Seth Moulton voted. Let's go through immigration, illegal. When Seth Moulton voted against deporting illegal, criminal MS-13 gang members, he voted against that. And just recently voted against something else that basically had to do with gang members. What in the world's wrong with this guy?
Well, I think, we had interviewed Seth a number of years ago, and it was clear to me that he drank the Kool-Aid. I had a lot of high hopes for him. because almost anybody could have been better than Tierney. But yeah, he drank the Kool-Aid, and I don't feel as if he's necessarily representing this district. But let's talk a little bit, say, about the economy. What's the difference between you and Seth in the economy? You're running against Seth, so
Everything Trump has been doing,
let's see what what the differences are between the two.
everything
of you.
Trump's been doing right now is perfect. He's making it easier for people to open business, to basically, some of these people don't know how hard it is to start a business. I've had a couple, and in regards to it, they call businessmen masochists. The reason they call them masochists is only because they like pain, and that's exactly what a business is. Because in regards to it, you have to take risk on losing everything that you have.
You're talking to a small businessman.
So, for a masochist.
My husband was a small businessman.
So that's it. I mean, you basically, these guys have never had a job. I mean, okay, Seth Moulton was in the military. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm a veteran too, so it doesn't matter
Yeah.
what I say.
Yeah.
So, and this is something that these people think that just because you're in the military, I mean, someone asked me, what makes me qualify because you're in the military? I said, nothing. Nothing qualifies me. I gave to my country, and that's it.
Well, I think that people appreciate when people certainly are in the military, and you and Seth Moulton, I would applaud you for your service. Thank you for your service, both of you. But he now has a record. When he ran the first time, he didn't have a record.
And I'm going to tear it apart.
Now he does.
I'm going to tear it apart. I've been going through the whole thing, and I'm going to tear that apart.
All right, give us an example.
Oh, gee. Well, I was going through, like I said, those, I gave you two already.
Yep.
Those are two that basically, I have to go through the list in regards to it. Immigration, he's not really pro police and so forth, law enforcement. He's actually supporting the wrong people versus supporting, I should have freshened up, I'm sorry. But in regards
Well,
to
what
it,
about the people in Massachusetts, for instance, the people in Gloucester, the fishing industry? That has been, it's almost decimated now. And none of our delegation in Congress seems to really do much about it.
I've been talking to some of these guys from the fishery, and they kind of feel like, for instance, that the fishery is done. But I'm going to try to see what I can do to help, because what they feel is mainly is when we're trying to save like the fishing thing and so forth. All of a sudden and then they kept it closed.
Well, they made it difficult for the fishermen.
So right now, the problem that some of the fishermen said is mainly that a lot of them don't have the boats anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
it's difficult. I used to have a business in Gloucester many moons ago, and when I had the business in Gloucester, Gorton's was cooking fish all the time. People were out for 3, 4, 6, 7 days at a time fishing. Now it's basically day boats. None of the big 80, 90-foot boats are out there anymore. The fishing industry in Gloucester is practically non-existent.
And well, that's one thing that he was telling, because I try to speak with. I was in Gloucester multiple times in regards to, and I try to speak with this guy that brought up all that about fishing, and I'm trying to get from him what exactly, and I'm trying to get it from more than one or two guys, and so forth, and I will do what I can, because that industry should be released. Okay, let's limit them, because one of the things they told me is these guys catch. Okay, just for the sake of saying something, they catch 1,200 pounds of fish. Okay, they're only supposed to catch 1,000. They have to throw away 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Instead of maybe donating it to somebody else, to some of these food pantries or whatever. They force them to throw away stuff they caught, and they just throw it into the ocean. They're already dead. Let's eat it. Let's feed someone. And that's basically one of the problems they have. This is one thing that he brought to my attention because, I mean, I'm getting it from multiple places in regards to this information. I will have a lot more when it comes to, because the fishing industry, we're supposed to be known for fish. We're not. Even publicly. You know, we're supposed to be known for fish, for seafood. And right now, I mean, the small companies don't have a chance to actually do it. Because one of the things he says is only the super companies are actually out there. And they're the only ones that actually survive.
Well, is it still true that the boats from Russia and Iceland and other areas can go to the Grand Banks and get as much fish as they want, but the Gloucester fishermen or the New Bedford fishermen can't? They're limited in what they can
They're
get?
limited.
So we allow, well, because I know when I had my business, the Russian boats would come in, the Icelandic boats would come in, and they had hundreds and thousands of pounds of fish.
Yep. According to the person that I spoke with, he says that they're limited to a certain amount. I forgot the amount, but they're limited. And the thing is if whatever's over, they have to throw away.
Well, they're also limited as to what kind of fish they can catch.
That's another thing.
And
But-
they also had to have a government agent go out on the boats with them to monitor what they were doing. And when they first started that, it was, I don't know how many years ago, the government was paying for it. Then they decided, no, the fishermen are going to have to pay for it. Well, they might have to pay $400 or $500 to have an agent on their boat for one day. They can't afford that.
No, why?
That's why there's not as many boats out there.
That's another thing that basically we're going to have to work on. And I will do my best once I get in to actually work on that. Because I've been trying to find some of the things that people want resolved. But you know, I have, you know, that's one thing that I actually will try to work on.
What about the opioid crisis? I mean, that's something that is affecting all of us on the North Shore. You read the paper almost every day, and somebody has passed away from an overdose. I mean, so
Yeah.
what can we do about the opioid situation?
Well, the opioid situation, I mean, I've been lucky. I've never touched drugs. I never have, never even tried pot. Friends made bets even before then. But the opioid, basically, I can't see how people can get hooked that much to it. But we got to stop it from coming from the outside, but it's also coming from the doctors. We've got to stop the border. We got to stop everything that's coming through the border. That's one big thing. And that's why we need a wall. We need a wall. The wall must be built. Yeah. I mean, we need a nation. If we're not a nation anymore, basically, this is why this is happening. Because they can buy it anywhere. And this is what they do. They actually buy, well, they also buy the Oxycontin from other people and so forth. They buy all that other stuff. But this is why, you know, we need to find a way to stop and try to help these people to get away from this stuff if we can. But the one thing is, we got to stop the flow. If it's from the doctors, then we got to go after the doctors. If it's from basically over the border, we got to go after the border. We got to close the border, because right now, I mean, some of the news that I've seen, where basically there has been many people carrying 200 pounds of drugs. I mean, it's crazy. Why don't we close the border? Oh, they're going to dig a hole. Hey, look, we put sensors. We'll know they're digging a hole. We go right there. You know, you can't. We have these people always use these excuses. A wall will stop it. A wall will stop people flowing, bringing in all these drugs very easily, and we are, you know, we're all, you know, we can basically save our.
Okay, but should the government pay for treatment for people who are addicted to opioids?
Okay, in regards to that, okay, the government should help, but I'm not a big person that actually likes where the government's paying for everything. I don't like the government being involved in many things.
The problem
And-
is there are places that are treatment centers for drug overdoses and places like that. They're expensive.
Yeah,
Not everybody can afford those, and yet sometimes it's not the person's fault that they got addicted.
yep.
And do we have a responsibility to try and help them via maybe our healthcare system, which apparently President Trump is
On the what process?
they're announcing a new program today for healthcare, but do you think that we need to help these people get off of the drugs? Because, like I say, it's not always their fault.
We got to help them to get off of it. We got to help the vets to get off of it. In regards to what we're investing in that, I'm not sure what we should be doing. But the one thing is basically we need to get them off. Because, why in the world do we have so much, why are these people so much in love with drugs?
I give
know.
up.
I do not know.
I think there's a number of reasons why they are. Certainly unemployment when young people don't have jobs is an issue. That's improving. But I think that, especially when they get out of college, and they think they have the skills they need to get jobs.
No.
And unfortunately, they don't.
No.
So I think a lot of them find it difficult
I've got
coping.
2 daughters in college. One just went to get her master's. But she's worked throughout. She's worked during college, and the youngest actually worked before she started college. My oldest is actually getting her master's in analytics.
Good for her.
And she, I'm very proud of that. I got very smart kids.
Sure.
But but she should, she's got this is the thing. We need to restore the parental system. We need family back.
You're right.
Because in regards to look, the government shouldn't be involved. Okay, abuse, I can understand. Spanking. Look, I haven't spanked my kids ever, but I would if I needed to. And
Not when they're this age.
no, not
They'll
now.
hit you back.
Not now, but look, I have never, and my kids basically. This is the thing. They know what we expect of them. They're very smart, and they it made me very happy. This is the reason why we need a family value. I've had some turmoils in my marriage, but you know what? For my kids, there was nothing that was going to basically tear me apart.
Yeah.
Okay, because my kids. Until my kids, but everything's resolved.
Good for you.
So it's basically, this is the thing. This is a situation where when you have a family unit, when you have family where they can, the kids have a mother and father, it's a great thing.
Oh, yeah. The families today are so diverse. You have a mother with a couple of kids. She marries somebody that has a couple of kids with somebody else, and then there's all kinds of strange groupings for families today. And I think children need that stability. I think you're right.
They need the stability of mother and father.
Yeah.
And in regards to it, that's all there is a mother and father.
Yeah.
If you adopt a kid, that in regards to it, that's fine. But you're either a mother or you're a father. Mm-hmm. You can't have this thing where you have these people adopting. You need a mother and father to be there to help them in every turn, because that's the issue that we have. Is we basically been tearing apart everything from that.
Well, all of our traditions are being torn apart
of course.
as well.
Right now, they don't, you know, they're trying to destroy everything this country was founded on. And we're not doing much about it. And we better get going, because I'll tell you, if we don't get this resolved, if we don't turn this around, we're going to be in trouble. And I believe, like I said, the guy that I'm going to run as a write-in against, it's not going to change. And I believe that he's not even going to try to win.
Carlos, we're almost out of time. So if you could just sum up what your platform is and let the audience know exactly what your biggest issues are and how you intend to run your campaign.
Hi. Well, I'm Carlos Hernandez. I'm actually running for Congress because I'm tired of everything that where our country's going. I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in everything that our country was founded on. I know I'm an adopted son, but that's all right.
That's fine.
But the thing is, you have to love the country. You can't just bring people in and have them not love your country. So in regards to it, immigration, I'm sorry. You break the law, you're out. I believe in I believe in the Second Amendment, 100%. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in freedom of religion. I believe in freedom of speech. Both ways, not one way. And I believe that basically, that if we keep going the way Trump has been hitting us, we should be able to win very big. And so all I need from you people is actually to write Carlos Hernandez, Saugus, Mass, or Saugus, Carlos Hernandez, Saugus, and right under, for Congress, under the Republican Party. And that's anything.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for coming, and thank you for your military service. Thank you for stepping up to the plate and wanting to take on Seth Moulton for Congress.
And thank you for being a legal immigrant.
Yes, thank you so much for that.
Believe it or not, illegal immigrants are living. I ran into someone when I was getting signatures, and I had to go and because it was early, and I had to go talk to this lady, and that she actually was mad as hell because she went through the right way.
It's a long process.
And she basically, and they're giving it away like as a candy.
Yep.
Well, thank you. Good luck. And maybe we'll see you in the future.
You will.
Thank you all for watching. We will keep you up to date on what is happening on the political front and elsewhere. So good night and stay tuned for our next show.